I'm Mr. Fred. I make DIY videos where I make, fix, build, and repair all kinds of stuff. Today I'm going to show you how I replaced my backflow preventer. This is my irrigation backflow preventer or anti-siphon valve. My house was built in 1992, so this anti-siphon valve or backflow valve is 30 years old. My old backflow preventer is the Wilkins Model 420. I'll be replacing that today with the Wilkins Model 720A, made for 3/4 inch. I'll leave an affiliate link down below for the new backflow preventer. I'm also going to include a link for the rebuild kit in case yours is not 30 years old. Unfortunately, the rebuild kit is only $10 less than buying a brand new valve. For today's video, we'll be working with PVC pipe, PVC primer, and PVC glue. Before I can remove the old backflow valve, I'm going to remove all my decorative rock. With all my decorative rock removed, I'll go ahead and excavate the area. Now that I've got all this soil removed from around my pipes, I'm going to go ahead and turn my water off, but I'm going to do it at the street. To turn off the water, I'm going to use this adjustable wrench. It's really hard to see down in there, but there's the valve. And I'm just going to turn this off. I'm also going to drain the water here. Now we're ready to remove the old backflow preventer. I like to clean these pipes before I even start. That way when I go to glue on the new fittings, the pipe will already be clean. I'm going to make a line right at the soil line, and I'm going to cut both of these pipes at the same level, make them square. That way it'll be easier to glue together. Now to make my cuts, I'm going to use these ratcheting PVC cutters. This is about the only time I ever use these because they don't really cut square. You have to be really careful to get a square cut. But since I can't really get a hacksaw blade in there or a sawzall because it'll loosen everything, we're just going to use these. Alright, that's got the old backflow valve off. So to start putting this thing together, we're basically going to copy the old backflow valve. And to do that, I've got these 3/4 inch fittings that'll thread into there. We'll go ahead and put those on with the Teflon tape into both ends. Keep this flat, and we're going to put it on clockwise. And I want to try to get about 3 turns on there. There's 1. There's 2, and there's 3. And we're just going to put him right in the end, and I'll do the other one and we'll tighten him down. Now we'll just take this adjustable wrench and we'll tighten these guys down. To make the new one the same as the old one, I've already measured my piece and it's 1 3/4 inches. I've taken into account the 3/4 of an inch that the PVC will go inside the fitting. To get a nice cut, I'm going to use my chop saw. The next step is to glue this side of the assembly. That way I can measure for both of my legs. I'm going to want this to be above the ground, about 12 inches to the top of the bonnet. For more in-depth information about the gluing process, check out my video, How to Prime and Glue PVC Pipe Correctly. I'll put the primer in the fitting and then on the pipe, and then I'll put the glue on the pipe, and then I'll put it onto the fitting. After about 30 seconds, we can let go of this, and now we can glue on the elbow, and we want to make sure that these are parallel with each other. Now that we've got this much glued together, let's take it over and measure for the legs. When I'm all finished, I want the top of the bonnet to be 12 inches above the soil line. That will be our reference here, which will make this piece right around 5.5. So I've cut a piece 5.5. We'll dry fit it together. Now I can measure for my other leg. Looks like 10 inches should be just perfect. So with our 10-inch leg in there, let's do a dry fit and see what this is going to look like. So that looks about perfect. That'll put our bonnet right at 12 inches above the soil line. Let's start gluing this together. I'll deburr and bevel, and then we'll prime and glue. I like to use steel wool and sandpaper. Now we'll prime and glue. I'll put this leg in first and then the other. Now we'll hold for 30 seconds. Now we'll prime and glue the other leg. And we'll hold for 30 seconds. Next, I want to glue these unions or couplings. That way I can connect to the two stubs that are sticking out of the ground. Let's prime and then we'll glue. I'll let this set up for about 5 minutes so that it gets to a nice working strength. Even though I've turned off my water, there's still water inside this pipe. Here's a power tip. Take something to displace the water out of the pipe. I'm going to use this socket with 2 extensions. Now, as I begin this, I'm going to have to work quickly because I've got to prime and glue both sides at the same time. All right, both sides are seated, and I'm just going to hold for 30 seconds. And that's how you install a backflow preventer for your irrigation system. Make sure you wait 30 minutes before you turn your water back on and check for leaks. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to support the channel, subscribe. I'm glad you watched, and I hope you'll watch again.